Hello, beautiful soul. My name is Mara, and I welcome you to this pick a card reading. This is going to be focused on what you can do to restore a feeling of hope, faith, and some peace in your life. So, I'm going to go over each crystal for the cards, and while I hold those up to the camera, I will be playing a sound for those that would like to choose their reading clairaudiently. So, let's start with reading number 1. Reading number 2. And number 3. All right. If you need more time, you can pause the video, take a look at the cards themselves, or you can go back through the crystals and sound selection. I'm going to start with reading number 1, but all 3 readings will be timestamped in the description down below, so you can find yours there, and I will see you at your reading. Hello, group number 1. Welcome to your reading. You felt drawn to this card and this ocean jasper. So this card speaks of a deep connection, a feeling of co-creative experiences. And I feel like by being drawn to this card specifically, that maybe you are in an isolated space in your life, that maybe you are lacking connection. This can this feeling of connection isn't just, having a conversation with somebody and or making something together, maybe like cooking something. It's deeper than that. It's this feeling, when you're laughing really hard with somebody and you feel this wholeness or this lostness in the moment, or when you're making love with your partner, or when you are deep in meditation or a spiritual practice and you connect fully with the universe. There is this really passionate, lost feeling that is a beautiful and perfect wholeness. And I think that when we cut ourselves off to that by being, for example, fearful of being perceived, then it really robs us the ability to connect in general and to have any kind of surface level connections. And I think that maybe you are in a space of really feeling alone and just feeling like this really empty, what is the point, because my life is not being witnessed. There's this really intense feeling that you need somebody to, and not just you specifically, but the majority of people, we really need somebody there to witness our existence, to have affirmations and to have confirmation and reassurance in our lives from other people. That is one of the most beautiful parts of co-creation, because it allows us to get out of just us and exist in multi dimensions. I feel like you really need to sit with the idea of being perceived a little bit longer than maybe you have been willing to. I feel as though some heart chakra work would benefit you at this time, maybe your solar plexus as well. But it's definitely feeling like you are in a point in your life where your fear of being seen, of being judged, of I mean, it's limitless really when you're in that fear-based mindset, is preventing you from finding the deep connections that you're yearning for. And so the universe really wants you to open your heart and to be a little bit more vulnerable. And when you choose to step out of that space of limiting yourself, then you're really giving the universe more opportunities and more chances and more energy to work with to bring you those connections that you're seeking. It can also point to maybe you are feeling depressed, you're in a depressive episode, and you're being asked to ask for help. And unfortunately, not everybody in our lives is going to be so attuned to us to the point where they can, see what we're going through without us telling them and just be like, I noticed this, that I'm going to start helping you. And oftentimes people don't want to overstep any boundaries. But with that said, it's like you want to be open at least to saying, "Hey, this is where I'm at. I'm really struggling. Is there any kind of advice, even just a hug that you have to offer me?" And it can be such a humbling experience when we put ourselves out there. And I think that by creating that space of vulnerability in your life with another person, you're really going to find this beautiful restorative connection, this beautiful experience of being seen and uplifted and loved at the same time. So let's jump into some more oracle cards for group number 1. What does Spirit want you to know about feeling hope again, feeling peace in your life? Okay. So we have White Witch, be the light. So I'm really feeling like there is this sense of, again, this depressive feeling, this um, really low vibration. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It is important that we ebb and flow in life. But when we get caught in the flow of the low part, then it can be really difficult to find our way out again. And so I think that that's what you're being asked, is to be your own light, have a hermit mode where you lead yourself through the darkness with your own lantern, where you can really find the inner strength to open your heart, open your mind, open your eyes to things that you have been shutting off to. And in the process, asking for help, being the light, and receiving the light back to you. It's like a mirrored thing. And I think that that's also going to be an opportunity for you to connect. And I think that when some people witness that, when some people notice that you are choosing to, because sometimes people don't know until we are actively doing something about it. And then they're like, oh, I've been in that situation before. Let me give you this, this, and this, and this that really helped me. So I think that by getting out of this darkness, you're going to have to make the decision first and align with it physically, like taking steps towards it, and then reaching out for help, getting some guidance, getting some help along the way. Okay, so now we have Shield Maiden. Make plans and focus. Yeah. So this is a call to action, a call to set your sights on something better feeling for yourself because you are worthy and you deserve that, and leaning into it, choosing to follow the path of healing, of finding a new and better feeling for yourself. Making plans, I feel like that's also pointing towards hanging out with people more, spending more time with people. If it's not people that you are ready to be around, then maybe you can go to an animal shelter and pet some animals, or spend some time with the animals that you have at home. Maybe spend some times with your kids, or with your husband and wife or partner, and just make a plan to see each other, to really see each other, and not just make a surface level connection with somebody. I do feel as though it is going to take some focus, some effort on your part, which is, it can be frustrating to hear, especially when you are depressed, because anything outside of just existing is pretty much exhausting, let's be honest. Um, and so I think that the universe is saying, take your time. You want to be a stable soldier in this battle that you are facing, in this endeavor that you are going on. You want to be sure that you aren't rushing into anything and causing more harm to yourself than initially, or than you need to. I mean, you don't need to cause harm. I think you know what I mean. Let's see what else. Okay, so we have Magic Guardian, unlock the magic within. And then we have Animal Guardian, trust your instincts. So this is feeling like you are, I'm really feeling like holistic pathways are going to be the best route for you. Of course, if you are feeling drawn to taking a more Western medicinal route, then follow that. I think that whatever your intuition is telling you, that you really do need to move towards that. But this is definitely feeling like, doing some kind of ritual, something that makes you feel connected again, to yourself, to your body. Maybe you have felt really dissociative and you're looking to feel more in your space, in your body, in your life, in your mind. Um, More real. And the way you can really achieve that is to do some kind of ceremony of sorts, a ritual, a spell, a meditative experience, a bubble bath that is centered around connection with yourself, that's really going to give you the space to feel that within yourself. And there is so much depth within you, and I think that while you have been isolated, you've really been in this echo chamber of, I am not enough, I am not worthy of being checked up on, I'm not worthy of being seen, I'm not worthy of this and that, and that really robs you of a feeling of excitement or anything about the future, because we don't want to exist in a future where we aren't worthy. And so this is also speaking towards trusting your ability, and, or excuse me, trusting your worthiness, your innate, I'm having a hard time finding the words because I want it to hit really deeply for you. But I think that I don't need to. It's something that's going to come from within. There is this feeling that you are a beautiful person. You are magnificent. You are wonderful, are brilliant, and you have so much to offer. You have this magic within you. And through this process, I feel as though you're gaining a whole new level of depth in yourself. And that can be somewhat of a painful experience. And so I feel as though this is an opportunity to really take care of yourself, to be gentle with yourself, and to restore that feeling of worthiness to have a future, to experience hope and to experience peace. It's going to start by you lighting the light within. Wow, yeah, lighting the light within and letting it grow. It only takes a spark to start a fire. It just takes little kindling and tending to the fire to really keep it going. So gather your resources, make the plan to step forward, and trust that you can unlock the magic within, that you can have this really restorative moment with yourself where you have it down. You have a ritual of sorts that allows you to connect with yourself and to connect with your emotions and all that that encompasses. And then with Animal Guardian, again, there's that feeling that simply just from the depiction of this card, that connection with animals may be a great place to start. And it may be the most beneficial part of this connection journey that you are on. But also, trusting your instincts is a very important place to experience within yourself when it comes to your worthiness, because if we are feeling disconnected from ourselves, our soul, our spirit guides in the universe, then we are very untrusting of what we can do. And also, this speaks to this level of trust can be gained through making a decision to try to feel better, to start where you are. It doesn't have to be big or grand, but to simply start with as far back as you can and just go with it. And when you make that commitment to yourself and you move forward in the direction of that healing path that you've designed for yourself, then you really start to gain trust in yourself. You really start to gain this respect for you and the things that you're capable of. Don't be hard on yourself if, you can't accomplish something. If all you can do one day is just exist, then be proud that you were present enough in your body to acknowledge that and to know that you couldn't push yourself any further than just laying in bed and letting your bed be the support that you really needed that day. This is definitely feeling like along this path of healing, coming out of this really dark space, this really difficult and sticky, muggy uh, energy it's going to be important for you to trust your instincts, to trust your intuition, to follow what your internal guidance system says instead of always choosing to do what society says to do to get out of depressive episodes, or what somebody else, when you connect with somebody else and they're like, this is what worked for me, you can pick and choose what feels really right for you out of that, or take nothing at all and just say, I appreciate you witnessing me and just trying to help. I'm not going to You don't have to tell them, but you don't have to do everything that they are saying. But overall, this is definitely feeling like the way to find a feeling of peace, a feeling of hope in your life is going to come from a medicinal route. There is something that needs to be healed, not just coped with, and when you find that healing, whether it be Western medicine, whether it be a holistic approach, whether it be simple connections with animals or simple connections with other humans, or just turning inward and deepening your spiritual practice, there is something that is going to heal long term when you embrace this path and when you choose to open your heart and really rely on your ability to feel things deeply. It's going to open a lot of doors for you in more ways than one. So for you, pile number 1, this is a journey of self-discovery, Your way to a feeling of hope and that restorative feeling in your life is through you taking action towards healing and not relying on vices to cope with how you're feeling about life right now. So the way out for you is going to be something that really translates throughout your life, something that you can turn back to in times of lowness. So I wish you all the luck and all of the beautiful experiences and connectedness that you truly deserve because you do deserve them. And I wish you so much love and peace and hope in your life. Blessed be. Hello, group number two. Welcome to your reading. You felt drawn to this card and this moss agate. So, by feeling drawn to this card, it's really telling me that you are somebody who is naturally optimistic. You are somebody that really looks to hope in life in ways that people normally are, a little bit more questioning, a little bit more apprehensive. They want to believe the worst in a situation, and you really don't. You really want the best to be true. And I feel like there has been a loss of connection with that part of yourself, probably due to outside circumstances or a really heavy influence of somebody that has dampened or darkened your light. And the universe is saying to arise, to restore that feeling of optimism in your heart, because it is so naturally you to expect the best out of people, to really expect the best out of situations. And when we receive a downpour of negative influences, whether that be from a person or a circumstance, it can be so difficult to conjure that over and over and over again and say, despite this negative circumstance, I'm going to persist in my ability to love, in my ability to believe, and my ability to be bubbly. It can be so difficult and so hard. And so no matter how long you've been in this, whether it's, decades or just simply a few weeks or a year, it's time for you to trust again. It's time for you to reconnect with that part of yourself that really feels loving towards the world, that feels connected and expectant of the good things that life has to offer and other humans have to offer. There's been a lot happening in the world that is absolutely cause for distress and this feeling of hopelessness, but the universe really wants you to persist past that and experience something better for yourself. So let's give the cards a little bit of a shuffle before we begin. For pile number two, reading number two, what do they need to know, Spirit, about connecting with themselves in a way that will restore hope, peace, love, and faith? Okay. Okay, so first out we have Arrow. Surround yourself with protective energy. And then we have High Priest. Intend and create. Okay, so Arrow, surround yourself with protective energy. This is absolutely a call to get out of the situation that is causing this really um, low and harsh energy. There is something influencing you that is really affecting you deeply. And whether that is a person, whether it is a physical environment, there's energy that is created in an environment that can really affect us whether we know it or not. And so This can also look like news and media. Somebody, some kind of influence is being pressed upon you, and you're being asked to choose a new direction, to point your arrow in a new direction and get out and find a new environment for yourself, a new person that can really make you feel like you again, make you feel like you are able to feel good about this world. I feel as though this could also point towards you looking to get out of a mindset. Maybe it's not something outside of yourself, but it's simply just you being stuck in this rut of limiting beliefs that have been asked to be felt and experienced and really worked through, but you're having a hard time getting there. You're having a hard time learning the lesson that they are teaching you. And so the universe is saying it's time to buckle down and make the decision to protect your energy, to protect the things that are so sacred about you. This ability to see positivity in the world is a really sacred gift. And when we lose sight of that or lose touch with that part of ourselves, it can be so damaging to our existence, our experience of life. It can feel like you are stuck, huddled over in this really dark energy, and the universe is simply waiting for you to look up and travel forward, but you are stuck looking down and afraid to feel anything because it's just so heavy, it's so hard, it's so pessimistic what is going on. There is something for you to learn. There is some kind of lesson in these really heavy feelings that you have going on that are really going to serve you and maybe even deepen that ability to feel good things in this world. So with High Priest, intend and create, this is a call to really be firm in the direction again that you are looking to be heading in. It's like you want to intend it, you want to make sure that while you are finding your way out of this, it's not just going to be like, I'm turning a blind eye to my fears and I'm stepping forward and I'm going to be positive again. It's not going to be successful if you approach it like that. So you have to be clear about, why do you want to feel different? What part of you, what age were you when you felt the most optimistic? What experiences in life have brought you to really feel really good and to trust your ability to trust the world, and what experiences have shown you that things are dark, that things have a certain level of depression to them. So there's this feeling that you need to look at the wholeness of things, not just be one-sided. There may be a tendency to do some black and white thinking, especially if you are naturally a more positive person. If you are in the midst of some really dark anxiety, then it can be like, well, the only way out is to feel the opposite. But there is this certain journey that needs to be respected in your creative process, in finding your way through. And a high priest is somebody that is is very wise in that process. He doesn't try to navigate outside of the journey that we all must go on to really find our way through lives. I know that that sounds really woo woo and really complicated, but it's truly not. It's truly just about you recognizing where you are in your life cycle and looking at all of the parts and not ignoring a certain part just because it doesn't feel the best, just because it doesn't look the best. And know that you don't have to sink all the way back down to witness something dark. You don't have to regress all of the way. If you start to feel, really better and like you are feeling hope and peace again, don't be afraid to look back at the things that caused you to feel anxious and alone in the first place. There's a certain level of beauty that can be seen, and a thankfulness, a gratitude for those darker experiences, because they do create a certain level of depth in our emotional world and our just us as humans. There's a song that's playing in my head right now by Alanis Morissette. I think it's called Thank You, but I could be wrong. But I think that giving that a listen may help you feel a little bit of something. Or if you've heard it before, you may want to just put it on again and reconnect with the lyrics of that song. Okay, so we have Fire Guardian, ignite your passions. So maybe because you have felt really disconnected from this feeling of excitement about things, this feeling of reward from life, because what's the point when you feel bad about everything. It's because you've disconnected. It's not just in your emotional sphere, it's also reflecting now into your physical life. And so I feel like some things that you used to be really passionate about, some things that you used to really have fun with and want to share with other people, tell them about, they're feeling like you've kind of dropped them off of the face of the planet. Like you haven't been interested, you haven't wanted to engage your energy in those things because they're just not the same without that passion and that drive. And so that is going to come from several different places. It's going to come from your ability to make a decision to leave this space and leave this mindset, really, and also from your ability to heal along the way, to really open yourself up to trusting the universe, trusting that things are going to unfold in a beautiful way. You just have to be open. So there's this opening energy, this feeling of being more receptive, and that will really give you a lot to work with when it comes to reconnecting with what you're passionate about, getting close to crafts, or a sports class, or something. I mean, people are passionate about all sorts of things. And so, whatever it is for you, it's going to come from your ability to first make a decision to feel differently, and then, secondly, follow that decision with actions. Let's get one more card for pile number 2. Thank you. Okay, trader, exchange energy to create abundance. Yeah, this is a perfect way of saying it, is exchanging your energy. You're exchanging this anxiety for a feeling of restorativeness. You are making the decision to feel better, and it's not like you are just dismissing that part of yourself. It's still going to exist. You're just exchanging it, and those things will come back and forth in your life. They will exchange themselves periodically, and it's your ability to come from a heart space and really acknowledge where you're at in that journey, again, in that journey, um, to really feel like you're going to experience more out of life, that you're going to experience hope and faith and peace and abundance. But I really feel like this is taking you somewhere, that you are being prepared for an incoming of abundance. Maybe you had to create this depth in your life, this emotional and mental depth, so that you would have the wherewithal, the I just want to use the word depth, to really handle and appreciate what the universe is going to offer you. I feel as though there is this beautiful trading of things, and the universe will take burdens from you when you offer them up. When you say, I trust you to really have my back in this life. I trust that the things that I've gone through are for a reason, maybe not a big grandiose reason, but a reason, and a reason for me. And I chose to have a reason out of this situation. And I feel like when you're co-creating with the universe in that way, and you're restoring things in your own way, that the universe adds onto it, that the universe really reflects back to you this abundance that you so much deserve. The feeling of passion and the feeling of hope that is naturally in you. They're going to give you more reason to feel that way. But I really feel like maybe you have lost sight of the fact that happiness is something that really comes from within. And while absolutely 100%, um, circumstances in our life can determine how much happiness we are really able to conjure at any moment, but it's going to come within from within no matter what. So overall, for you, pile number two, a way for you to restore a feeling of hope, peace, and love, and faith in your life is going to be through you choosing to connect with your inner child, with the part of you that really feels peaceful and hopeful to begin with. The part of you that hasn't seen these really, really dark times. And when you combine the two parts of yourself, you're really creating a beautiful meshing experience of life. And you're creating a more whole version of who you are. And what a beautiful thing, and what a major opening into more passion, into more desire in your life, a feeling of restorative energy that will really uplift you. But it's going to start with you choosing the direction you want to go and really following through with it, respecting your journey, leaning into your passions again, and choosing to honor the exchange of energy that's happening as you do these things. So I wish you all of the luck and love along your journey to find hope again in this life. It can be difficult, but it is so worth it, and you are worthy of that feeling of hope. So blessed be. Hello, group number three. Welcome to your reading. You felt drawn to this card and this red jasper. I love this because it has little flecks of sand in it. I think that's so interesting. Anyways, we have the dissolving light. So, there are a couple things that come up with this card. First, I want to address that you may very well be at your rock bottom, at this period where nothing feels right anymore. And there is this feeling of absolute hopelessness that nothing worse could happen. And if it did, it would just be, the end of you. Um, it could also point to you just feeling so inauthentic in your life that things are no longer yours, that you're living somebody else's life, that things just don't connect for you the way that you used to, or the way that you have longed to or expected to at this point in your life. So, with that being said, this card really heavily speaks about a shedding, about this new truth coming to light, and you being given the opportunity to really have a new experience, to have light fill you up again, and to restore your life back to a meaningful experience, back to a experience that is authentic to who you are. So you may experience a real tower moment in tarot where you have this really unstable foundation that needs to go. It needs to be let go of. And while it may be painful to let go, it's a cause for celebration because what's coming next, and this card does speak of, the next things in life. There are things coming towards you with this energy, that the things coming next are going to be from a place of stability, from a place of knowing, and from a place of truth, and not just anyone's truth but yours. This is going to be a powerful experience for you in your life where you can thoroughly feel connected to what you're doing. You're not doing things just because, you're not going through the motions. You are actively engaged and showing up in your life because you want to, because it feels right, because it feels rewarding, because it feels worth it. So, this is a really powerful place to be. While it may be really dark and heavy right now, the universe really wants you to know that by being drawn to this reading, that things are changing. You can expect a new level of healing in your life that's going to provide so much for you. It's going to allow you to really experience a new version of yourself, and or connect with an old one that has been disconnected. So, by feeling drawn to and choosing this reading, what does Spirit have to say about pile number 3, restoring hope and faith in your world? So, first we have Elder, move beyond ancestral patterns. So, okay, you are you're doing some pretty heavy generational work right now, and it's no wonder that things feel so awry, things feel so disconnected. It's because you're meant to change the course. You are meant to break the bond, break the pattern, break the cycle. You can say it however you want, but you are the one that was born with the wherewithal to end it, to choose a new path, and change the course of future generations. So this is it can feel like a heavy burden when you're in the depths of it. But when you're in the lighter part of it, it is feeling like a blessing. It's feeling like a certain level of importance, and because you are what this world really needs when it comes to change, when it comes to the better evolution of things. And so, while yes, it can feel very heavy, I definitely feel like this is a call to respect that you are the person. You are the one to really make that change for your family. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, my camera. To really make that change for your family and for the world, because I feel like when you do that, you're not just changing things for your family, but you're changing things for a lot of co-creative energy. There's this certain level of plannedness that I think the universe has. And when you decide to diverge from that, when you decide to change the story, then it changes the collective story. And that's a really powerful thing that only some people can and are willing to do. You don't have to accept this. You can continue on the pattern that your ancestors kept on. But I think that you really seek that feeling of connecting with your life again, and it's going to look different than your parents. It's going to look different than your grandparents, and so on. So let's see what else. That's funny. This card tried to pop out while I was doing the energy shuffle before we began your reading. So, drum, dream, and journey. This is a call to do some dream journeying, some drum journeying, and to get into a meditative state. You can connect with your subconscious when you play drum beats and get lost in the rhythm of it. You know, a lot of cultures do it, and it's a way for shamans to connect with their spirit guides, and not even just shamans, but just people to connect with their spirit guides and find that sense of guidance that they really need in their life. So I think that your spirit guides are saying, we want to connect with you. We have a message. We have some advice for how to proceed in restoring that feeling of hope in your life. And the best way to connect with us right now is through drum journeying. So I would look into that if you are feeling called. Of course, take what resonates and leave the rest. But I feel like this is something that you can absolutely look into when it comes to connecting with your spirit guides. And if this is something that you used to do and you've stopped because it's either whatever reason, they're saying it's time to get back into it. It's time to get back into that way of connection. Okay. We have Lady, enjoy growth and reap rewards. Okay, so yeah, this is a time for you to grow and expand, to break that pattern and really step beyond what this is. The sphere that you've been currently living in is very limiting. It's very one dimensional. And where you're going, the growth that you are going to receive from this experience of stepping in a new direction is going to be tremendous. And there will be rewards that I really just don't think that you can even fathom right now. And this card even speaks of that. It's this truth that you're stepping into is beyond what you can currently picture for yourself because you're living in somebody else's truth. And when you step into this new way of being, you're really opening yourself up to a new level of magic. I'm also seeing, I feel like your guides, you are a very spiritual person, and your guides are really speaking heavily through this reading. They may be asking for an apple offering or something to do with apple seeds. Maybe you need to eat more apples, but it's feeling very loud through the picturing, from what I'm feeling. So this is also saying that because your willingness to plant the seeds and step in a new direction, because it is nerve-wracking to make a new decision for yourself. Maybe you have to start from scratch. Maybe you have to start from a literal apple seed um, to grow the tree. It's oh, okay. So maybe you need to be offering apple seeds with intention of writing down your seeds as well. So, anyways, it's feeling very much like because you're willing to do that, because you're willing to put those seeds in motion and put those plans in motion, that you will be rewarded tenfold, that you will be opening yourself up to many gifts. I feel like there's plenty. There is this overabundance kind of feeling, kind of like the Ace of Cups, where it's this fountainhead of abundance and prosperity where you get to really come back to and fill up your cup when you are feeling a little bit empty or depleted. So I feel like the hope that you are gaining from this scenario of reconnecting with you and your spirit guides is really going to allow for a long lasting sense of hope. I feel like you're learning a lot from this cycle of your life. Okay, so lastly, we have Sky Father, trust in the unknown. beautiful way to end your reading. This is so true, and especially for you, because it is unknown. To break a cycle and choose a different route, to choose, maybe you are disconnected from your parents. Maybe you have chosen to go no contact. Maybe you are looking to parent your child a different way. Maybe you are looking to go to school when your family never went to school, or the opposite. And this is a very intense, nerve-wracking experience to, have that pull towards something else, and have a bunch of people probably being like, "What are you thinking? Why would you go that way? We've never done that." That's terrifying, and it's so ignorant to not trust, or not, maybe that isn't the right word. It's so small-minded, I guess, to really only fear the unknown and choose to fear it solely based on the fact that you just can't see it. You just can't see what's there. That is a very limited way of living through life. And I think that you really want more for yourself. And by choosing to spread your wings and fly with determination through a storm, potentially, that you're going to be rewarded because of it, because you trusted the universe to provide for you. You trusted yourself to navigate the storm. You trusted all that is going to unfold. And it's interesting that I brought up the tower moment, because the lightning here is also reminding me of the lightning striking the tower down. So there is this breaking down of energy. And as you step into this new light, as you move from rock bottom to a new way of being, that you're going to experience such beautiful change. I feel like this bird is symbolizing determination and persisting through the unknown, and eventually it's going to symbolize just freedom and having the ability to fly through scenarios, to really trust that you've done it before, you can do it again. You've trusted yourself before, you can trust yourself again. And you can trust your guides to really to be there, to be the sky father. Even though you're flying through this unknown storm, there are guides and the universe that want to uplift you and keep you safe in the midst of this really chaotic, or potentially chaotic time for you. So for you, pile number 3, I feel as though this is a really beautiful time in your life, though you may not feel that way right now. This is a time for you to step out of the current cycle and choose a new path for yourself. And when you do that, the rewards that are coming are limitless, honestly. The light, the truth that you are going to be living is going to be so yours. It's not going to feel disconnected from you. And you will be able to, live your life to the beat of your own drum. So take some time, connect with your spirit guides through some drum journeying, or however you do it best, and know that you can trust the unknown. You can trust the universe's ability to provide for you and to really help you find your way through this transition. You may want to give them an offering of sorts. But overall, this is feeling like a time for you to plant seeds and just make the decision to move in the direction of something new. And when you do that, the universe will match your energy and provide for you along the way. So good luck on your journey. I know that you're going to do amazing, and you will find a better feeling and more hope and faith in your life. Blessed be.